It'd be like that where, I go live, and especially on Fridays, people don't get notifications, but shout out to Liana with the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. So make sure y'all like the stream. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day. This probably won't be a long live stream. I just wanted to put this up before the weekend. But because it's Valentine's Day, and I know there's going to be a lot of lonely single women out here, I felt the need to give them some words of advice and encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Amy said she didn't get a text. But I really didn't text anybody there. But shout out to the moderators and the members. Hopefully y'all saw the video I produced on this channel earlier today. Okay. So let's see who's here. Let's see who's here live with me. D Breakdown, Patricia, Chris G, Albert, Renee, Danielle, Douglas, Dwight, Naima, True, London Link, Antoine, The Good Nurse, Terrell, Bella Keys, Book Out of Case, DTR. Man, what's going on, man? So it's Valentine's Day, and we are here. What's going on, Jay Wolf? Make sure y'all like the stream. And there's a lot of women that's been working towards leveling up, and they still haven't gotten a man, which is probably why they are so hurt and bitter on social media. Just look at some of these comment sections. Look at some of these comments from some of these women, man. They're not getting lucky. They're not getting candy. They're not getting flowers. They're not going on a really nice date. Do you know where they're at? They're somewhere on social media, probably YouTube, in the comment section being really bitter and really hurt. But I do want to shout out the women who actually have a good, decent man that actually cares about them and is actually helping them build towards something great. And they actually embrace that instead of the women who tear down the man that they're with, who belittle him, who are always looking for an upgrade, and also you got these gold digger, these wannabe gold diggers on social media. They go and they look to somebody to help push them in the right direction, man. You can only push yourself in the right direction. Stop playing around, Stop chasing behind men that don't want you. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of women chasing men that don't want them. And then they wonder why, when they get a certain age, the dating market ain't for them. You know what I'm saying? What's good, right? Terrence D, what's good? So I also want to say this. What's good, Ricky 245? I also want to say this. People been asking me about doing a video about Maya because Maya took a photo in a wedding dress. People are assuming that she got married. Listen, until I know of a groom, I'm not going to, assume that she's married. I'm not going to assume that. She could have been doing a photo shoot. I'm seeing an article where they're saying that Maya's secret wedding may have been staged. So again, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. Some people are saying that she married herself. Oh. I'm seeing an article from ET that says that Maya may have married herself. According to a post, Maya said, "I do." Oh, in East Africa, my love is like, well, singer wore a beautiful white veil and wedding gown, which include a satin belt and Toll Train. Thank you for all the beautiful messages and happy Valentine's Day messages, I guess. Officially, Mrs. Lansky. So I guess the guy that she's married to last name is Lansky. Oh, excuse me. Where am I stupidity? Maya may have married herself. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't surprise me if she got married to herself, because we've seen this before, you know. We've seen women go out here and marry themselves. But wherever Mr. Lansky is, he sure doesn't want people to know, or she doesn't want people to know. But would it surprise any of y'all that she married herself? She married a tree, bro. She married a train station. I think she married that beach she was on. I'm telling you, man, women just refuse to make the necessary changes to attract the right men. They attract the men that they, women are going to attract men, period, if they are attractive, but it's who you give your time and energy to. If you give your time and energy to a guy that doesn't respect you, doesn't really love you, and this is all tying in to the topic, okay? Maya and Valentine, this is all tying into the topic, you know what I'm saying? What's good, Foot Patrol? But yeah, it all ties together, man. Why are you hiding your husband? What is it with women hiding their husband? Are you ashamed of who he is? Is he somebody that that your friends would think is unattractive, or your female followers would think is like you can do better than? I mean, if he's white, they're going to accept him. So, we already know he can just be white. That's it. He can just be white, and that is okay. Now I'm hearing about Angela Simmons, and we keeping it on Valentine's Day. She's talking about now how she wants to date a white man. Now she wants a Caucasoid. It never ceases to amaze me. Whenever you choose the wrong men, you then want to hop the fence as if that's going to change anything. There's a whole section of YouTube full of red-pilled, non-melanated men who are saying the same things we're saying, and they're not just speaking about white women, okay? Some of them are talking about you too. Somebody might be a sugar daddy. Yeah, she might have married the sugar daddy. She married the money, man. I think she married the money, man. What's good, Mellow Bird? Well, it's not really about approval. It's about validation. You got black women out there. They feel a sense of validation when they date or marry a white man. Just look on YouTube. Look at these women talking about they're gonna hop the fence, get a white man. It's like, okay, all he has to do is be white. He ain't got to have no qualifications. It's not certain things that you're looking for. He just got to be white. What's good, Ann Wilson? I see you. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. But there are some lonely women out here, man, that are massively in their fields today because they don't have a Valentine's Day. They had a whole year to find one, or for one to find them, but they played games with dudes, wasted their time, always looking, always looking for the next guy to fix the situation, not fix the situation, but to save them from the situation they're in. We are in crazy times, people. I think men, for the most part, treat Valentine's Day just like another day, unless you're married. Unless you're married, or unless you're in a long-term relationship, you may have to do something for Valentine's Day. Some of you dudes that have a baby mother, your baby mother might be pressuring you to buy her something for Valentine's Day, or, maybe you want to, soothe things, so you may get her something for Valentine's Day, But for some of these other women that are highly bitter today, you had a whole year to find a man, and you still haven't done so. You still haven't done so. So now you're on social media mad at all men because for a whole year you played around, played games with dudes. Because trust and believe, there are women out there, they play games too. They play games with people's emotions, money, time. They waste a lot of time because, there's women out there, they love to give, they like non-sexual attention, man. They like to be able to have a guy, be there for them emotionally, because the men that they would deal with sexually, not trying to hear that. And they don't want to mess that situation up, but they're okay with being able to treat the emotional friend any kind of way, because they think that he's not going to go anywhere, because they don't think, he can do any better, or he's trying to win her approval. This is why I implore a lot of men to stop giving women free attention. Especially if you in your heart know that you're not going to smash, you're not going to date her. If you can just feel that she just wants to talk to you, just to talk to you, man, don't give her that energy, man. And what's interesting is that she will fight hard, tooth and nail, for that non-sexual attention. Okay? She won't fight hard to keep a relationship going. We'll fight hard to keep that non-sexual attention coming in, because she needs that emotional support. She don't get it from family. None of her exes deal with her like that unless they want to sleep with her. So look who she's coming to. She's coming to you. Okay? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy out here giving free attention, man. It's not going to be a situation that you're going to like, Now, with Valentine's Day, and I've spoken about Maya and Angela Simmons and how all that ties into this, okay? You have women, man, they are so single that they will pretend to have a boyfriend. They will be talking to 5 different guys, but they never, it's almost like they spend more time juggling men than actually finding a decent one, because they don't really know what was decent, Women compartmentalize a lot. I think with men, we don't really search for emotional support like that. We really don't. We if we're searching for something, it's we trying to sleep with something, you know what I'm saying? Or we may be looking for somebody for a relationship, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we're not trying to have long phone conversations and things of that nature with multiple women. But women will sit and have multiple phone conversations and text back and forth with various different dudes, man. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. What's good, Ant Sound? Like the stream, people. Now with Maya, she's 40. She, been single for a while. But now all of a sudden she is married out of the blue. How you go from being very single to very married? It's because she's probably been juggling various men, but not enough to where she's ready to go public with them. Again, it is, your business, what you do in your private life. But when you put up photos of yourself in a wedding dress and call yourself Mrs. Lansky, you're putting your business out there. Nobody's going to search for anything. The information is being put out there because of you. And I did a video about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago almost. And I spoke about how why no man wants to date her. because she seems like a very picky woman. And that doesn't change anything. That really doesn't change anything, you know. I still feel the same way I did in that particular video. What's good, Sean? I still feel the same way. My commentary, like if I was to do a secondary video on that, none of my commentary would really change that much, except for the fact that the new information about her possibly being married to herself or to somebody else, you know? And with Angela talking about how she wants a Caucasian male, you know, good luck with that. But you got to look at the failures of your relationships. You chose to date a guy who, you know, was considered not the best choice, but you chose to get with him anyway, you know, and have never made up for that situation. Green card makes you go from single to married quick. I mean, it could be one of them situations. I mean, we never know. This guy, or maybe she's trying to get access to another country, man. You just never know, man. But I want a lot of women to understand, like, you can fix your situation today. You know, you can fix your situation today. Stop listening to these relationship coaches and reading these books that is making you even more confused. Stop listening to your single friend. Y'all notice that women be having like that one single friend that always want to give the females advice that are in relationships that are married, but they always single. And when you bring up their dating life, they don't want to talk about it, but they want to talk about everybody else's relationship and marriage. They want to talk about everybody else's situation. They want to give advice. They want to tell you to leave the guy you've been with for years because you've had some issues that you feel like she shouldn't work out with him. And I think a lot of women be listening to the wrong people. And that's why they end up in a situation where they just give up and say, you know what, I just want a sugar daddy. You know? Just look at how you have women talking about leveling up. You got women out here talking about being feminine. Now all of a sudden you want to be feminine. Why weren't you trying to be feminine when you were in your prime, when you were in your early to mid 20s, late 20s? Why do you want to be feminine now? Well, what's changed? Has time changed? Have you changed? Or do you think that men and what they like have changed? Because a lot of men have access to a myriad of women through whatever means, whether it be dating apps, whether it be, you know, social media sites. You can follow somebody, you can DM, private message them. You can talk to people all across the world. That you no longer have to date the people in your city. Like if you're from a smaller city, you don't just have to date those women. You can date, you know, women from different states. You can probably start maybe dating a woman from a different country. You know, you don't have to just date what's around you. Maybe women have taken notice of that. You have guys who are going overseas to date women, and that has some women very upset. It has some males upset. You know what's interesting while we're on this topic? You have a lot of guys, right, that have no intention of marrying the women that they sleep with, the women that they procreate with, right? But then they get upset because there's no man to clean up their mess. That men have smartened up and men no longer want to be cleanup men. And it angers them because now the burden is back on them to support these women, to marry these women, and they don't like that. And they do it under the guise of, we're doing what is right. So Disick policing is what's right. Telling a man who he should sleep with, that's you doing what is right. No, what you're doing. You're trying to condition other men to accept the status quo. For them to not to seek anything different, because once a person sees a different way of things than from what he was conditioned to believe and think, his perspective is going to change, and what he likes and accepts from women is going to change. You know, you got some of these males, they want to push off these women that they don't see a future with off on other people. That's why they don't want to see these guys traveling. That's why they don't want to see these guys out here dating something differently. And then they make it seem like it's so easy to get them one of these particular women. Let me tell you something. If you fit a certain stereotype, yeah, it may be easier for you to get with certain women than others, you know? That is because for the most part, you fit a certain stereotype. So you're going to have more success than others. But you have certain guys, you know, girls at certain ages, especially women in their prime, they're more interested in a certain type of guy. And that's pretty much universal. There are a lot of women who are in their prime only want a certain type of guy. And if you don't fit that, then they don't want to deal with you, period. So those guys have to make adjustments, whether it be traveling to different states, to different countries, in order to find a match for them. And the fact that you have people shaming those guys, again, these are guys that these women didn't even want. These women didn't even want these guys. They didn't even want them. So why do you care where they go and who they sleep with? Why do you care? Move on with your life. You know? Get with Dirty D. Dirty D Cedric. You know, get with Dirty D Cedric. Try to start a life with him. You've been giving him the box for years. Why all of a sudden you don't want to deal with Dirty D Cedric? Now you trying to level up to a Brad or a Lansky. You know? You've been giving your prime years to a man who will never marry you. And then you are angry because that guy didn't marry you. He didn't make an honest woman out of you. You know? And that's what we have. We have a bunch of people, man, that are just unhappy with life, man. And Valentine's Day is going to highlight that. Just look at the temperament of women who are single. Just look at the temperament on social media. Just look at the temperament on the job. You can tell the women on the job that didn't get no flowers or candy, ain't going on a date after work. They're pretty much going to go to work and then they're going to go home. Okay. Or they may go visit their ex. One of the exes that they can't stand, but they want somebody. So the ex is better than nobody. Okay. Now, this is about Valentine's Day. You want to keep that in perspective. But I also want people to understand that it is a different time, man. And a lot of you women, man, that are in your prime now, I want you to think twice before you start giving your best years, before you start having relations and having kids with these guys who you know in the back of your mind are not going to marry you. They're not going to financially be able to keep up with you. You need to think twice before you end up giving your best years to these guys, you know, raising their offspring. You're going to resent these guys and you're going to use them to measure against every other guy that you've dated, even though you should never be in that situation to begin with. You should never put yourself in a situation where you have to sit up here and you have to measure each guy and make sure he's not like your ex. But that don't usually happen till women are in their 40s. Once women get in their 40s, all of a sudden they want to micromanage the type of men that they deal with. You should have did that in your 20s. Women are supposed to mature faster than men. Why are you making these mistakes in your 30s and 40s? Why aren't you settled by then? Why do you have so many exes and no rings? Because women juggle different men all the time. They probably get approached by different men all the time. You know what a decent man is. But if you're used to something, because you know women and men are very conditioned these days. If you're conditioned to accept and to date one type of guy, unfortunately, you have women that are going to stay in that cycle, but they don't get out of that cycle until maybe they move to a different city or a different state where things are different. They start working around different people who live a different lifestyle. They're around married women or women in long-term relationships, and they see how their relationships are and how those women are. And they say to themselves, what have I been doing? How many years have I wasted on Dirty D Cedric? You wasted all these years on Dirty D Cedric instead of you trying to fix your situation, like Sierra did. Say what you want about Sierra. Sierra was able to fix her situation. She was able to make adjustments. Not a lot of women are going to be able to make adjustments because they refuse to change because they don't feel like they need to change. They feel like their circumstances need to change, or maybe the types, and I would say types of men, but maybe the different, ethnic groups of the men need to change. But they never look at the main issue in the situation, and it's ultimately them. It's ultimately them. Make sure y'all get the likes up, man. Shout out to Shy with the super chat. Happy Valentine's Day to all the red pill men and women. Appreciate that, man. Shout out to everybody that's been in the chat. Y'all know when I go to speaking, I don't really pay attention to the chat unless somebody's in there trying to heavily get my attention. But Valentine's Day is it's a day for, women to be pampered, taken care of by the guy that they're with. Or it's a day for women to look back on the last year and wonder, why are they still single? Listen, I know we all go through things, man. We have relationships that didn't work out. And we just choose to play it single, So whenever, I get to speak on the things that I speak on, yes, I'm single on Valentine's Day, but I don't really see Valentine's Day as a day worth celebrating anyway, especially as a man, because it's mainly a day for corporations. Because I'm going to break this down. Valentine's Day is mainly a day for corporations to cash in. With the cards, with the candy, with the balloons, with the flowers and the teddy bears. I'm already getting a headache thinking about it. All that these dudes is going out here buying. Plus taking these women on dates, buying them other things, that they may want, like it's their birthday. Y'all know Valentine's Day is like a third birthday for women, because you got Christmas, you got their birthday, and then you got Valentine's Day. And there are dudes, man, they will go and they will buy clothes and shoes and jewelry, take them on dates, get their hair done, nails done, get everything did. Of course, getting them the candy, the flowers, the teddy, all that. So you got a woman who, let's say her birthday was on the 13th. Well, she's going to have another birthday on the 14th. Okay. Have 2 birthdays today. You know what I'm saying? And just like Christmas, especially Black Friday. Black Friday is definitely a day that a lot of these companies cash in. And yes, they're lessening the price, but you're going to buy more. You lessen the price for one day, you end up buying more of what you don't need. And by the time Black Friday is over, you done spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on stuff you don't even need. But because the price was low, you decide to buy it anyway. It's just like these people, these morons who sit up here at midnight and they rush into these stores to buy a whole bunch of stuff that they're probably not going to use. It's probably collecting dust right now. They bought something on Black Friday and right now it's collecting dust somewhere in the house. Ain't even been taken out the box. So basically you have Valentine's Day, where it's a day where a lot of these corporations are cashing in, man. They're cashing in. And let me just say this. They want relationships. I want y'all to understand that. They want these women in relationships, because the more women who are in relationships, the more likely that man is going to go and he's going to spend a lot of money to make her happy. Not only during the holidays, but on Thanksgiving. No, it was Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving too, but on Valentine's Day, their birthdays or whatnot, buying jewelry, clothes, like I say, getting their hair done or whatnot, taking them shopping for whatever, buying them a whole bunch of Valentine's Day candy or whatnot, you know. Shout out to Real Night. Jay, black women who talk about black, bi, or gay men all day are bitter because they can't find a man. They're miserable. But do black women speak about gay men like that? I thought they'd be lockstep with with bisexual or, you know, openly homosexual males. Yellow B said, I bought a kitchen aid mixer and ain't used it. That's how it is, man. Black Friday does that, man. Black Friday will have you buying a whole bunch of stuff you don't need. But as far as the whole, I've never heard a black woman talk about gay men. As a matter of fact, you know, gay men and black women get along very fine. You know, I don't hear black women talking about them. I think you mean straight men. You know, I don't think they talk about gay men. You know, that's a new one for me. I haven't heard that before. Men can buy what they want to buy, but I'm just telling y'all what the reasonings behind Valentine's Day. It is to get your money. The same thing with Black Friday. It is a way to get more money out of you, especially as a man. You buying a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of electronics or whatnot that you don't even use. They lessen the price a little bit. They say, hey man, this usually costs about $300, but we gonna take the price down to about $160. And then you end up going in and buying that, and they got something that was $130. Now it's about $70. You go and you buy that. You might buy two of those. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know what's interesting of Philippi? There was a chick, right? She was in the comment section. She said that, if I keep making videos about Amanda Seales, then I must have a crush on her. Even though I haven't made a video about Amanda Seales since like the middle of last year. I don't talk about Amanda Seales like that. I said what I need to have said about her, and I kept it pushing. Even though she has said and done various things over the months, I But in this situation, I need to speak on it because I felt like, she was showing a lot of just bad character traits that a melanated woman shouldn't, LV says black women gonna talk about a gay man because who gonna do their hair? Right. Black women don't talk about gay men like that. Yeah, who gonna do the hair and the nail, all that? Who gonna do that? What's good, Shantia? But yeah, man, I bet all these people who ran up in them stores, I bet all those people that ran up in them stores to buy a whole bunch of shit they don't need, I bet they regret it because they probably end up leaving that store spending $2,000-$3,000 because you're getting all the electronic stuff and then you're getting all the kitchenware. That shit costs money. I don't care if it is, 40-50% off. When you add taxes, that's going to add another $20, $30, $40 on it. And you buying about 5 or 6 items that cost, yes, the price has been lessened, but if you add on the tax of all that stuff, you're going to be paying a lot still. You know? The only time Black Friday is really effective is when you're trying to buy like like video games or something. When they, instead of spending, three something on a console, you maybe spend about one something, or you get the brand new games at about $65. They cut it to about 35. That's the only time Black Friday is effective, because then you're not really sure if you want to buy that new game because it might be trash, but you buy it at half the price. That's the only deal I see. Okay. Damn, man, this is so toxic. And she is a wrong fit for. Yeah, she is a very bad fit for the real. Very bad fit. Shout out to Ant Sound. Jay, you don't have to explain yourself to a troll. Nah, this female she wasn't really a troll, because she has her face in her profile pic and she's commented multiple times. But I just want to clarify that for anybody who would have said that, because I want people to understand that I am very transparent when it comes to what I post and the need of posting. And why I post topics that are interesting to me. So if Amanda Seals was interesting to me, tomorrow I'll make another video or go live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, D Brown, you're here live. What's going on? Hopefully, y'all are good on this Valentine's Day. Beth, I have no idea. Maybe I can put in see about my connects, can get me her name. But yeah, man, I feel bad for you dudes going out here buying candy and stuff like that. And then what's funny? Like, you got dudes, right? They will go and they'll buy all this Valentine's Day shit. And then the next day, their girl is yelling at them for no reason. Like the day before, you did all this romantic stuff, right? And then the next day, she flipping on you for literally no reason. That's the type of relationship some of these guys are in. Some of these guys are in these types of relationships, where, they have a very dysfunctional relationship. And Valentine's Day, she's on her best behavior because she knows that you're going to take care of her. But once Valentine's Day is over, the next day she's back to calling you out your name, talking about you cheating on her. You know what I'm saying? Arguing. A lot of you guys should be very fortunate that you're not in those situations, man. But I know some dudes that's going to be going through that. It's going to be doing all these good stuff. They're going to be spending a lot of money today. And then tomorrow it's going to go back to like ain't yesterday. Like today, Valentine's Day ain't even happen. But yeah, this is just an extra holiday to a lot of women, or extra birthday, because they expect you to do this, But make sure y'all like the stream, man. We here live. Oh yeah, side chick day. That's the day. That's the next day. That's why the chick is going through the phone. She want to know where you been, because side chick day is the next day, or is it the previous day? I always thought side chick day was the next day. It was good prime time. Appreciate it. Yeah, side chick day. All you side chicks, y'all gonna have y'all time tomorrow, at least for a little while. Because, he done spent all his money up the day before, so he can't really do much for you, but he can give you some Hennessy and Dizzy and maybe treat you to take you out to eat or whatever. Shout out to Pressure, Bust Pipes. I've been checked out. You'll go broke trying to keep up with every holiday. The worst thing is the more money you make, the bigger they expect the gifts to be. Absolutely. What's good, Janie? Absolutely. They expect that. Absolutely. They expect that. You know, they expect you to do that. You know, especially if you're making good money, you drive a nice car, you live in a nice house. She's going to expect you to splurge. You know, that's why I call it another birthday. They're going to expect that. They're going to expect you to do all these things for them, you know. Yeah, get her a Popeye's chicken meal. Get her a Popeye's meal. Take her to get some fast food. Get you a bottle of Hennessy or E&J. Go back to the, you know, do what it do. But he ain't spending that much money on the side chick. The side chick just want to be in his presence. She don't really expect much. That's why she's a side chick. She don't really expect much. She just expects you to be in her company, so to speak. But she knows that you're not really going to do much for her except for giving her, again, some liquor and Dizzic for the most part. And maybe some out to eat, you know. That's mainly what the side chicks get. They're not getting the, you know, presents. They're not getting the balloons. They're not getting flowers. They're not getting candy. They're not going, you know, to get themselves done up at a spa. They're not going on like a long form date where you go to various different places. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting those things because they're not the main chick. The main chick is expecting that. The side chick is just happy to be with him. Now, if she makes a fuss, then he can just drop her. Say, oh, fuck it, you know? But yeah, the side chick she ain't that hard to please. Unless it's a situation though. Unless it's a situation where you're like financially supporting her. Like if you're financially supporting her, that might be different. You know, if you're financially supporting her, that situation may be different. But if it's a situation where she's with you because she desperately wants to be with you like that, she's willing to accept anything as long as you spend just a little bit of time once a week, maybe 2 days a week with her. She's fine with that. And there are a lot of women in those situations. Y'all can say whatever you want. There are a lot of side chicks out here, man. And they will get on social media and claim that they're looking for a good man. What's good, K. Nicole? I see you, Saliba. But in actuality, they're out here being a loyal side piece to one of these dudes, man. Well, I hear that, K. Nicole. Shout out to you. K. Nicole's out with her husband. You know, she ain't got to worry about being the side. Don't run his pockets too deep, K. Nicole. Yeah. But yeah, man, these are different times. These are very much so different times, man. We are in some very, very different times. We're good, Gerard. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. I don't know if y'all just got notifications or not. You know. What's up, Cool Gent? Antonio Cruz, I see you. I ain't supporting no side chicks, L. Like, that's just too much because she's going to be wanting your time and energy and you just want to dick her down. You know, that's the predicament these dudes be in. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be giving her, you know, sexual and non-sexual attention. They're like, man, I'm just fucking her. Like, I'm not trying to hear your problems and all the things you're going through. I'll hit you up when I'm free. Okay? I'll hit you up when I'm free. But there's a lot of side chicks out here, man. And they more loyal than the girlfriend is. The girlfriend probably got her a dude on the side. Probably two of them. You know? So, yeah, don't be the side chick, man. Because what happens is when you're a side chick, you're going to fall into a certain pattern behavior that you're going to get comfortable in. You're going to get comfortable just dealing with a guy, who has a girl. Some women are very comfortable in those situations. But what happens is once those women get older and their looks aren't the same and their dating options aren't the same, now they're mad at all men because they chose to be a side piece various points in their life. And they got comfortable in those roles, and they never were too comfortable being the main chick because maybe they were afraid they would be cheated on. So it was like a comfort zone to just be the other woman, not have to worry about those things. But those same women then would turn around and talk about how they want a successful man, a rich man. They want a man who's going to be loyal to them and honest and not cheat. But what have you done? So for all you side chicks out there at home steaming or wherever you at work, checking your phone for messages, but you probably mad because he's with his main chick and she's getting all these various gifts and things of that nature. And you're hoping that he does the same for you, but he doesn't. As a matter of fact, when he does speak to you, he's angry. He's upset. He doesn't want to be around you like that. He just wants to keep you around. So he's willing to spend a little bit of time with you tomorrow just so you don't go off the rails and mess up his situation. Okay? But yes, there are women who are more comfortable being a side piece because they don't want to get cheated on. But see, the thing is this. If you're choosing a guy who's known to get around with various women, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. Anyway, say whatever you want about the guy, but you're putting yourself in a bad situation. But the reality is, man, there are a lot of side chicks on social media putting up memes and trying to send subliminal shots at the guy that they're messing around with. But you can put up as many memes as you want. Okay, you can put up as many thirst traps as you want. He's still going to treat you like a side piece. Okay, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be a side piece. Nothing is going to change. No matter what you post on social media, that is going to be your situation. And what's truly, troublesome is that there are decent men who are interested in women who are basically side chicks, and they will not even think about dating those men until they done hit the wall or they're close to hitting the wall. They have no options. They're a single mother of 3 or 4 kids, and now they want to change things. Now they want something different. They're tired of the games, even though you were playing those games too. You were playing those games too. But my point of saying this is that if you treat yourself like a main chick, you will never fall for being a side chick. And there are a lot of these chicks that are falling to being a side chick. Okay, because they bought into the games that were being played and they said, you know what, I'm more comfortable being inside. But don't get to a point to where now all of a sudden you want a good man and you want to listen to these relationship experts who point you. I mean, it may point you in the right direction, but it's up to you to take that step. Don't wait until it's too late. Start those steps early for you to be able to find what you are looking for, because the good, decent guys out here, the hardworking guys, the guys who can actually build you a goddamn future, those guys have options too. Okay. And they're going to exercise them, as you see with these guys going overseas, guys dating women of different ethnic groups. You got these older women that are out here waiting for these older men to, I guess, accept them or want them. But these guys are dating younger women. Okay. They have no interest whatsoever in dating women their age or older. None. And I wish people would tell these women this, but they don't get it, But these older men tell you every chance they get, they're not interested in women because those women are set in their ways. They're set in their ways. They've already been scarred by life as far as their interactions with men, and they want to be with a woman that they can mold into the woman that they want her to be. They don't want to deal with somebody who either has a ready-made family or is in a situation where she is broken. This 100% work. Well, I'm not a relationship expert, Melissa. I'm not a relationship coach. I'm not a relationship expert. I speak truth. I speak factual truth. I don't lie to these people. You know, why do you think people get upset with me? Why do you think people get angry? Why do you think people, don't like what I have to say? It's because I'm being honest with them. I have no reason to lie to them. I'm just a truth teller. I'm not a dating coach. I don't have a book out here. I'm not giving lectures. I'm not giving dating advice. I'm just being honest with you. Well, how old are you, Melissa? How old are you? But there are women out there that claim they like older men. So, they claim they like older men, and they will date these guys that are older, for years. Who is Debbie Cooper? You mean Deborah Cooper? No, isn't she like a dating coach for women? I don't do dating advice. Or you're 23 and you say the older guys, how? Well, I mean, it would depend if you like older guys. I don't know. But there are older men out here that have no interest in dating women their age. They will date younger women. Go ask them, okay? Unless they're married. If they're married or they're in a long-term relationship already, then that's not really on the table for them. But a lot of these single bachelor guys who are in their 40s, or some of these guys even their 50s, they're only interested in dating women who are younger, in their 20s, maybe 30s. D. Brown says, I used to date older men when I was in my 20s. Oh, yeah. Do you still date older men, D? Because I've heard these chicks say they like older men because they're more mature, they're more established, and I'm like, okay, but y'all say this weird. Oh, so you don't date older men no more? Oh. Oh, so they be with other women and they try to holler at you? Is that what you're saying, Melissa? I mean, that would be weird if they're with somebody and they're trying to holler at you. That's what you're saying. But yeah, women should never be lonely, Women should never be lonely because, especially if you're an attractive woman, you should always be able to find somebody to be with. Because that's the thing, like, as men get older, they get more established. They gain more socially, financially, spiritually. With women, there's only a certain amount of time your beauty is going to be considered, beautiful. And women will waste that just trying to be attention seekers and time wasters. And instead of taking that time to find the guy who's really going to put them in the best situation. Yeah, it is a lot of women with daddy issues. I agree. And that's the thing, like, there really is no difference in 2020 between older men and younger men as far as their mentalities. Because, you got women that claim that younger men are men who are in their early to mid 20s. They play games. They're not ready and things of that nature. But I have heard women, just like with D, she said that older men out here playing games. She said they out here playing games. So what's really going on, Stoker? You know? But yeah, I be seeing these chicks happily talking about how much they love their older men. I'm like, okay. But it's the older women that suffer, man, because if you have men of your own age group that's not checking for you, then you got to make some type of adjustment. You got to make some type of adjustment. You got to make some type of adjustment. But I think that for the most part, I think the whole, if you're older, you're more mature, I think that's a thing of the past. I think that's a thing. Even not even the past, because you had a lot of teenagers back in the day that used to probably pretty much be on their own. When they were 17, 18, they were getting married, But I think because over the last 40 some odd years, young males have been coddled. Because, especially in the black community, growing up in single parent households, you had a lot of these males that were coddled. I mean, they living with their mama until they about 25, 30 years old, By the time a lot of men, 50, 60, 70 years ago, when they reached, 18, they were out the house. Or even before then, they were out the house, What's going on, Ronette? Talk about a blast from the past. What's good with you, Ronette? Well, I appreciate that, Ronette. It's good to see you in the chat. Been a minute. I held the door for an older woman today, and when I seen the young chick coming, I said, nope. She tried to walk faster. Omega Dreads, you said nope. I can understand that, man, because these young chicks do not appreciate you doing shit for them. They really don't. Older women will smile and say, hey, like I was at Wendy's the other day. I got the avocado salad, and I guess they messed up the order, but she came out, she smiled and said, hey, I gave you a large, even though you got I believe a medium, but I gave you a large anyway, and we didn't charge you, A black female would be like, here you go. You have a good one, Okay, Ronette. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you've been getting yourself, prioritizing certain things. That's cool, But yeah, man, I listen, Omega, I understand you, bro. I understand you, bro. I have a baby face on my 30s. Okay, Patricia, so who approaches you? Melissa said, no old saggy balls for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know what it is, man, but these younger, especially these young black females between the ages of like 20 and I would say late 20s. I don't know what the fuck is going on with them, man. They just all fucked up in the game. It's almost like they speak their own language. And if they like you, they'll speak it to you. But they're automatically suspicious. They don't know you, but they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Very unapproachable. Then they will get on social media and complain that they're not getting approached. I wonder why. You're not getting approached. I said how teenage males approach me, and that's not cool. I can't. Really, teenagers? How you know they're teenagers, Patricia? How you know they're teenagers? They tell you they're teenagers? Because you got some guys that look young, but are probably in their 30s. Because they're women, because I'm 30, but you got women that say I look young for my age, especially when I don't have my beard fully grown. If I have my beard fully grown, I look my age, or if not a little bit older. But if I have it trimmed down, I do look young for my age, especially if I trim it all off, But I guess it's the melanin, man. What can I say? It's the melanin. I like looking young. I don't want to look old. I don't want no gray hairs. Okay. No, Jay, I know age. Oh, you're a teacher. Oh, okay. So the students are approaching you. Oh, yeah, that is cringy if the students are approaching you. If the students are approaching you, that is cringy. But I mean, I think male students, if they find a female teacher attractive, they may try to holler. I mean, these female teachers are screwing these young men. You got female teachers that are giving it up to these dudes in high school, even middle school. Y'all, I know y'all seen the stories. And these are not even ugly women at all. Most of the women I see messing around with these teenage boys are women who will be considered attractive. They're not ugly. But I just think they have a fetish for younger males. Maybe they didn't get the guys they wanted in high school, but as they got older, their looks changed. I know there are teachers who, oh, yeah. Look at all the stories we've seen over the last couple of years of these teachers sleeping with their male students. And these are not, I want you to understand, these are not ugly women. These are women that they like these young boys because, again, their mentality, they have a very high school mentality. So because they have a high school mentality, if they see a dude they like, they instantly are attracted to him. And these young boys, some of these boys got some game. Okay? Some of these guys got game, man. And they be running game on these teachers. Or my 8th grader called me sexy. Really, Patricia? I mean, that may happen, man, depending on how that dude is. He might be like a class clown. He might, again, some of these young boys, they will holler at these teachers, man. They don't care. If you have y'all know how athletic these young boys who are athletes in high school, basketball, football, you got dudes who are teenagers, right? They look physically like grown men. Like I watch a lot of college football recruiting, right? You got dudes that are about 6'4", 6'5", 220, 230 pounds in freaking juniors or seniors in high school. They look like grown men. And when women see these dudes, especially the ones with the high school mentality, they're going to be attracted to those guys. I'm not saying this right at all. I'm not saying this right. But when they see these dudes who look like grown men, they're going to be attracted to them. Or if it's the type of dude that he has the looks of a type of guy that she would have dated either in high school or she dates outside of it. That's what's going on, I'm telling you right now, man, you can kind of tell though, man. Like you can kind of tell the teachers that get enamored by these dudes, man. Because I've seen it. Listen, I was in high school, okay? You talk to one of them teachers like one of them girls, man. You can just see her body language, whether she's falling for the shit or not, man. It's very easy to tell. And when you have these young boys, especially with social media, they deal with girls on social media. They probably dealing with older women on social media, talking to them, commenting to them, whatnot. They're going to treat, the girl that they go to school with, they're going to treat the teacher, especially the teachers in her early 20s, they're going to treat her the same way. They're going to see her as a dateable option. They're not going to see her as an authority figure. Those high school football teammates look like grown ass big boys. Yeah, them do, especially those college prospects, man. A lot of them guys are 6'6", 6'3", over 230, 40, 50 pounds. Look like grown men. A lot of them got full beards, you know. Someone probably got bald heads, you know. That's why in a lot of these situations, man, you see these, especially like these young teachers. It'd be the teachers that ain't been a teacher for like a year or two. They fresh out of college, and they were dealing with college dudes. Now they're teaching high school, and they're dealing with these high school boys. And their mentality has never grown. Hasn't grown that much. They're not mentally mature. They're very immature. Dominic, I agree. Those teachers are pedos. They are pedos. Absolutely. Not saying it's right at all, but I'm telling y'all what be going on. That stuff be going on. Okay. Before 260 when I was recruited out of high school football. Damn. I was a big guy in high school, man. But yeah, man, you got 300 pounders. Like, you got some big boys that are in high school and they physically are mature, even though they're young men. But still, these teachers should not be thinking about sleeping with these young men. And vice versa, because you got dudes, you got some of these male teachers out. But I haven't seen as many as the female teachers, but you do got the male teachers as well that are out here trying to get with the girls in high school. But I have seen way too many stories of women in high school doing it. I don't know if it's like an adrenaline rush or what. But shout out to everybody that's here, man. Make sure y'all like the stream, okay? I agree, Ace. They definitely need to be treated the same as male teachers who do the same thing. Absolutely, but they be getting slaps on the wrist. A lot of those female teachers get slaps on the wrist because they just cannot conceive the notion of this woman who looks like she could have any other adult man that she wants. Why would she do this? And that's the problem. They're looking at her looks instead of what she did. Okay, well, that's an interesting business, Ronette. Why don't you hit me up? Let me know about it, man. That's a cool business, Ronette. Slaps on the ass too. Yeah, man, these teachers probably go right back to being teachers, but they do get slaps on the wrist. They're like, we can't put this attractive woman in jail because she may have did something. It's like, did something? She's out here screwing these males. There ain't no telling how many she done got with, man. But shout out to everybody that's here, man. This stream was originally about Valentine's Day and where people are, where a lot of the women are. You got a lot of dudes that they're just chilling. This is just another day for us. We're not looking to, spoil any female that we not with. Now, if you're married to a woman or if you're in a long-term relationship and y'all do something on Valentine's Day, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you've been together with the person for a long time. I mean, that's what y'all do. But you got women that they'll get into these short-term relationships because remember, cuffing season started late last year. And some of those couples may still be together. And I noticed, though, there's a lot of breakups after Valentine's Day. Like right after Valentine's Day, there's a lot of couples that end up breaking up, But shout out to everybody that's here. Happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully you have lots of sex. Yeah, man. Hey, whatever you're doing on Valentine's Day, hopefully, it's benefiting you one way or the other. Okay. But that's it for me, people. That's all I have to say, man. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. Make sure y'all go and watch all the other videos I produced on this channel and on my Jada Black channel. You can send me an email here at Jada Black Live. All right. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All the links are in the description. All right. And yeah, man, y'all have a good one. And I would definitely see y'all on the next one. Okay. So y'all take care. All right. And until the next show,